He told me, he said that guy.
That is
a survey said it's
roads
in
and railroad.
Oh,
talking about.
oh my goodness.
every
that looks
they
more like a
want to say, okay, you go right to us and we'll get right back to you.
Because if we just left it,
So I'm saying, repeat.
and that's we added a line of it. But I asked for them to add a line in this,
But they said that
in their resolution. But that's
preschool in the nursing home.
my boy's not gonna feel great about that. It needs to say you're giving it.
That's
back.
my whole thing right there. We're good there.
Well, it's good because it fix all those old
Okay,
efficiencies.
Mr. Fetty, we ready to go back here? We must be.
We may not be live, but
All right. Well, as long as people can hear us, right?
yes.
Okay, first meeting I'd like to call to order is the Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for April 3rd, 2023. If I could get a roll call, please.
Sure can. Board Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
We got President Kelly Milan
Here.
and myself.
Okay, guys, I don't have any announcements for this particular meeting, unless you guys do.
I have none.
Have none.
Tommy? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second it, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. For Board of Works tonight, I don't have any new or old business to bring up. You guys got anything you want to
I
add?
have none.
Okay, if not, then I entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this particular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
That's the fastest Board of Works meeting we've ever had.
And Justin and I are present too.
What'd you say that for?
I watched the last meeting.
They always go.
I watch all the meetings.
I
I know
know
you
you
guys know.
I'm kind of disappointed
good.
because I figured you surely have something to say.
I'm glad we can make
You're
fun of
Justin.
each other.
I don't know. Who,
I know who said it was Mr. Fryman.
Oh, okay.
Boy, here I
Moving
am,
on-
over under the bus.
Moving on, Mayor.
All right. I'd like to call to order the Lawrenceburg Utility Board meeting for April 3rd, 2023, with another roll call. Mr.
This
Petty.
gonna blow our record right here.
Board Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Justin Alpert.
Yes, sir.
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board Member Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Board Member Brett Mondurant.
Yes, sir.
We got Utility Director Billy Kennett.
Here.
We got City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
And we got President Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, any announcements, Mr. Director Kennett?
Yes, sir, Mayor. Friday and Saturday, we had the IMPA annual meeting. And one of the things that they announced to us in that meeting, they have a part of the rate that's called an ECA, and it allows them to fluctuate the rates, positive and negative, if they're having cash flow issues. And it has been minor adjustments up until this point. They notified us that the rates will be going up another 4% on July 1st, which I was not happy about at all, and I voiced my displeasure, and I'm not finished with that yet, because they just finished a rate study, and they're saying there's a $60 million cash flow problem there, and that's the reason they need to increase these rates. Now, granted, the power industry is just crazy right now, and buying and selling power on the open market, it's crazy times. But they hit us for 8.9% at the start of this year, and then 6 months later hit us with another 4%. So that did not set well with me, and it didn't set well with some of the other members as well. You know, you would think when you have a rate study done like that, it would look forward and catch something like this to where we wouldn't have to do that. So more to come on that. You know, it is what it is. It's $60 million cash flow. They have the right to go positive or negative. So we will see that 4%, or, the additional 4% rate increase starting July 1st.
Did they say, you said 60 million?
Yeah,
Did they say how, because a co-op as big as IMPA, you would think would be able to see something like that
Yep.
becoming an issue.
right.
Did they say what happened that flipped that around?
They're saying it's the purchasing contracts and the volatility of the market and the buying and selling of power is what has caused this shortfall. That was some untimely power plant shutdowns. Some were expected, some were not expected. What really hurt them was they had a planned shutdown right there over Christmas when things just got really cold. And so since they didn't have some of that power plant capacity, they had to go buy it on the open market. When you're buying, when things are in that much demand, you're paying a premium for it. So,
Are they shutting down because of maintenance issues, or they're actually decommissioning
well,
power plants?
No, this was planned outages.
Was it-
It just,
Okay.
and, you would like to think that they would plan those during the spring and
Yes.
fall, during low load conditions. It just so happens that they had a planned outage on one of the major units, and so they took a pretty good beating on that. That's the reason I'm not happy with it. I just, and they do a great job managing things. For some reason, this got ahead of them, and they didn't see it coming, or they didn't plan for it. Let's say that.
But that's, what, almost 13% in 4 months?
Right.
And so obviously, I know you've probably been questioning them, but when's the next board of directors meeting?
I'll have to get that date for you. It's coming up, be towards the end of April.
Am I allowed to go to this?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely,
I think I'll go to this one.
yeah.
So for clarification, you're saying when they were shutting down said power plants and whatnot, they had to buy power from other, so they didn't budget money put money in their budget to where if that did happen, they would be able to cover that?
They do plan for that, but like when it hits a peak like that, you're paying 3 times the market value when you're buying power on the spot like that. And that's what caught them off guard. There's no way you can plan for that weather at that time. I'd like to think that they could plan those outages better to where, anytime during the winter, you're susceptible to having something like this happen. So, we'll see what happens with that. But
You got any other good news?
that's all,
Really?
that's the only announcement. I do have one more thing. We had a really bad windstorm come around again this weekend, Friday and Saturday, and we didn't have a single outage. So that's just phenomenal.
You guys have done a really nice job of being proactive on that.
Yeah.
I mean that because that's not been the case a lot.
Yeah.
And this year, it's definitely paid off because we've had our fair share of wind.
It's been a bad year for
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't keep my garbage cans outside.
I don't think I put mine in the garage every time. All right. Well, we'll keep people updated on what we find
Yeah.
out from IMPA. So, yeah, disturbing. Okay. All right. Any other announcements?
That's it.
Okay. If no other announcements, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under new business, Director Kennett, looks like surveillance SCADA system 2023 service agreement.
Yeah, so the Surveillant is our SCADA company. They own the software rights to our SCADA system. We entered into, just to kind of take a step back, we have that software up and running now. We have 2 servers in place that host that software. Bryson did a great job of getting that all straightened out, and so that's all finished. we have a service agreement with Surveillant. We did that last year. It's like a maintenance agreement. It allows us to have input from them if we have any problems with the software. So we have the gold service. They have 3 different levels of service agreements. We signed up for the gold last year. We'd like to sign up for the gold again this year. That gets us hours of training, online training with their engineers. And so we actually use this in our training program. We have, excuse me, we paid for a training program with Surveillant, and it's a self-study program. And then what we do is we'll do the part of the self-study, and then we'll use their engineers in an online format to kind of help us through some of the things that we're learning through that. So we won't always need that gold. We won't always need that support, but right now we're in the process of getting up to speed on that software system. And so I would like to do the gold support again this year.
Okay, so you stated we've done this last year as well?
Uh-huh.
Trying to remember that. With this system, is this an existing system that we are just training the guys on?
So-
Or are we getting a new system?
No, this was an existing system that was put in back, I believe, in Mel's tenure. So it's been quite a few years ago. And we have revitalized that system and gotten it back up to speed, and we had to upgrade the software. We've done quite a bit of work to get to this point.
It was not working at one time.
It was not working, yeah.
So it's not antiquated or anything like that? This system
No,
is?
yeah.
It's with the times, I guess,
So
is what I'm asking you.
There's 2 parts to it. There's a software part and a hardware part. The software we have to up to speed. The hardware is still working fine, but we do have to do some work on it as well. And we'll have that in our capital plan to get that up. So we've been slowly getting this thing back up to speed and getting it going.
Is this something that's going to integrate into our new SCADA system that we've been talking about implementing?
Yeah,
Well-
so we'll have 2 separate SCADA systems. We'll have one for the electric and then one for the water and sewer. We keep those separated for homeland security issues, things like that. The surveillance system is a very nice system. It's one of the leading SCADA vendors in the world, really.
Speaking with you last week, but this one here is just for the electric, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the next move for the water and sewer?
So
Because there's where we have some issues with lift stations flooding and
Yeah,
stuff.
we have to, it goes into the master plan of what we want to do with the lift stations. And so what we have to do is come up with a configuration of how we want the controls and what they want them to look like, so that when we rebuild the lift stations, everything goes in uniform. So right now, you go to one lift station, you go to another, you got 2 different systems, and it's hard to keep up with. So we wanted to take a step back, do the engineering on it to get the control panels all the same throughout, have all the pumps the same throughout as we rebuild these pumping systems.
Well, I would love to see that proceed, being one voice. And I don't know how many of you guys are, we've been
Yeah.
talking about that for quite a while. I'd love to see that proceed sooner than later. I think it's important so we don't continue to have these issues with our lift stations.
Yeah,
I really think that's what we've been working toward
yeah.
all this time.
And that's in process right now. Garrett and Andy and I are working on that
Great.
to get the specs that we want, the controls, everything laid out the way we want.
Okay.
And then we'll go out and start soliciting bids for the SCADA system for the water and sewer.
This contracted amount was in your budget?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the surveillance SCADA system service agreement.
So moved.
Second?
I'll
Second.
second, Your Honor.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Mr. Weldon, transfer of the old hospital substation and road easement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please, the Utility Service Board, I've got up on the screen the photographs from our meeting with the county. In your package, you've got a resolution that will be an identical resolution to the one that the county passes to transfer this property. We're transferring property to them, and then they're gonna transfer property back to us to clean up the discrepancies here. And what you're looking for is a tomahawk-shaped part of this map. And Billy, you're gonna have to help me out a little bit. But we're merging, this was a 1971 property transfer. There's an access road, there's an access easement, and then there's a parcel. Our transformer sits on a parcel that doesn't capture the whole transformer. It's not big enough. And so we're gonna transfer everything back to them. It'll merge and extinguish the access easement. They'll give us back the road and the parcel clean. So now we'll have a clean road with clean access and a parcel that's big enough. And in the meantime, we're also gonna clean up any issues for setbacks with the road, for fencing, for any setbacks we need to maintain the fence and the grass and everything like that. Am I saying that right, Billy?
Yeah, and what caused this discrepancy is we were deeded the land for the old substation, and when the new substation was built, we did not get deeded the property for the new substation. So we actually have additional land up there that we need. And so the county said the cleanest way to do this is, you know, just give everything back to the county, and then they'll deed us what we need for the new substation and the access road off Nelson that comes into the hospital substation.
And this is all part, and Billy, I don't know if you could just point to kind of what we're talking about here. This is an aerial view, but this is part of a bigger surveying project the county's doing up on the hill to clean up a lot of these issues. It's just, when you talk to these surveyors, it's just amazing how ghost roads, ghost railways, everything can get so jumbled up over the years. And that particular area has a lot of issues that need cleaned up.
So real quick, our footprint is now a bigger footprint as far as the substation.
It will be, yeah, when they
Right.
get it back to us.
Well, I mean, it sounds like to me it already is, but we weren't deeded that land back in the day, so now we're making it bigger.
Yeah.
My only question is, do we ever think in the future that we need to make it any bigger to where we may need more property, or we just leave it as is now and, as you say, deed it back to them, they deed it back to us in a bigger footprint?
Yeah.
And that's what they have right now. If you see in blue, that was the old substation footprint. And you can see how this new substation, the fencing comes all the way out to here, and comes around. So this is all area, this is the substation building right here. You've got the transformers and the regulators here. So there's quite a bit of footprint here outside of our land. And then this is that easement road that comes off Nelson that comes back into that substation. We have an easement for this road right now. And then we have a deed for this property. When it's all said and done, and that's the tomahawk that Dell had mentioned, it kind of looks like a tomahawk here, where you've got this coming in, and then you'll have the substation area right there.
So we will own the road now instead of having an easement. We will own that property. Okay.
We'll own the road and the substation.
And the large enough section for the
Have an
substation.
easement for the roadway. We'll own the roadway.
That's the aerial. This is the actual survey that SIG did.
So make sure they don't switch that over to primary metering in the meantime, right?
Yeah. That's a whole nother conversation. So yep, go ahead, Tom.
There's been conversation with the county, with yourself and Mr. Weldon,
Yeah.
to this, to where.
Yeah, we all met at the county building with the surveyor, with the auditor, with the county. So they're passing the resolution they pass will say the exact same thing that ours does. And then we'll have one more transaction. This legal description references the 1971 transfer too, so
I did read
cleans
that.
everything up.
This needs to be brought up in utility board, but also in council meeting?
Yeah, I think we'd approve it in both, just because there's a question about, was it given to utilities, LMU and the city, plus if it's a property transfer, especially when we get it back, I'd rather have the city and USB do both, that way we're covered.
So is this a utility resolution?
Utility will approve it with a favorable on to city council, and city council will do the resolution.
Okay, I was wondering that myself.
Yeah, and that way it encapsulates everything, so we don't have to ever worry about
Got it.
being invalid, or kickback by the county. Sometimes they'll kick back stuff we try to report.
Got it. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
No.
Have none, Mayor.
If not, entertain a motion to push the transfer of the old hospital substation and road easement onto the council meeting, which will follow this meeting with a favorable,
Recommendation.
sorry,
I'll make that motion.
okay, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
All right.
you.
I have another new business, Billy. Old business, looks like you got lift station 13 pump replacement.
Yeah, so the last board meeting, we brought in front of you the replacement of the lift station 13 pump replacement, and we had a few options, and we ended up approving the fight pump, for the amount of $43,730.84. Since then, we were approached by the Grundfos, which is American Pump Repair, and I've used Grundfos quite a bit. They're big in the HVAC industry, and the pumps we use, Grundfos is kind of the industry standard for the HVAC pumping world. And Garrett had met this company, this rep, at a trade show, and he said, hey, I think we really need to take a look at this. Is it too late to look at this for the lift station pump replacement? And I said, well, USB never has a problem with me coming back and saving them 20-some grand on something, so.
I think that's your good news for the meeting.
Yeah, so
I'm not-
let's take a look at it, let's run it through the paces, see if it's something we're comfortable with. And I even reached out to one of my engineering friends that designs sewer plants and said, you know, if it was you, what would you do? And he said, I would go with the Grundfos because of the price difference. And he said, you can buy 2 Grundfos pumps and have one sitting there as a spare for the same amount you're gonna pay for the flight. So we went ahead and made the decision to purchase the Grundfos pump, and I just wanted to bring that back to you and let you know why we did it. And Del, I don't know if we need to get any type of approvals because of what we did on this.
I think we just vote to approve it. By law, the transaction's not final until we execute the contract, so even though we voted, even though we kind of thought we were going with the different company, now we're going this one, we can just vote to approve this new contract. Also, this is just for the record, I mean, this is maintenance, emergency maintenance, so those are 2 separate exceptions to bidding and quote process, even though we ended up actually getting a lower price.
Can I interject something here?
Sure, absolutely.
Being we're saving the money, would it be in our best interest to buy 2 new pumps and put 2 new pumps in that lift station, so that lift station would be somewhat up to date, and take the existing pump out, or 2, and possibly have them, well, if one's still working, as a backup?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's, so that is something that we're looking at. We certainly have the money available to do that. We've been hoarding cash with
Right.
sewer because of the rates being the way they are, so.
get it.
It would be a no-brainer to do that if we weren't in that hoarding cash mode. So that's the reason we didn't pull the trigger and just buy 2 of them. Yeah, so we're kind of holding off on that right now. That lift station does have, it's got 2 pumps in it now. It's set up for 3 pumps, so we could always just go ahead and put that 3rd pump and have that redundancy in there for that.
Well, part of it too is you were really, you had a lot of experience with the Flight, was it Flight brand? That pump, and you thought that was a great pump. This, we're kind of experimenting a little bit, is that,
Yeah.
with this?
Yep.
So, I mean, maybe kind of see how this works. We do have a 5-year warranty,
Yeah,
but, we turn out this thing's a lemon. We're always calling in for warranty issues and such. Maybe we don't want to have so maybe give this a good 6 months to a year to see how it performs.
yeah, and the other thing was there was a lead time on that Flight pump. It seems to me like it was 5 or 6 weeks lead time on that. This Grundfos was in stock, so
Okay.
a little bit better turnaround as far as, if we do have a pump go bad.
That's good.
And just an update on 3 Mile lift station, we had to replace both of those pumps up there. The manufacturer put the wrong impellers in there, so when we got them, we were fighting with those pumps. They just could not keep up with the demand, and finally they pulled those pumps and they figured out they had the wrong impellers in them. So
Oh, man.
they sent us the correct impellers, and we have that
So the wrong impellers on the new pumps?
on the new
The new
pump. Yeah.
pumps.
That sounds made up, impellers.
So we will
You
pull
bring your
the,
car in there, they say we're gonna charge you extra for a new impeller.
Yeah.
I would just pay it, I wouldn't know.
Well, that's the biggest
got no
part. That's where
pumps.
it's actually extracting the
Yep.
the fluid out with that impeller.
Yeah.
That's the
well,
most.
you got open, there's all different kinds of impellers, but are we gonna pull the pumps out and tear them apart and put the new impellers on? Which is not a real big deal.
Right.
I've done it myself, but
Yeah,
that's odd
I
that they're
think they've
allowing.
already done that, once they
Yeah.
found out.
'Cause you
what
just
the
gotta
problem-
pull the volute off the bottom.
Yeah,
Well, just 10-cent Tom there switches out for you.
I did my share of that, I'm beyond that.
Hey, one other thing I noticed on there. So, looks like the bid is for the 30 horsepower. Just in the email, it said it was recommending the 60 horsepower.
yeah.
So just based on our flows, the 30's going to be
No,
sufficient.
so the existing was a 60 horsepower. pump.
Okay, that's
The
what.
Flight pump that we were going with was a 35 horse.
Okay.
This one's a 30 horse, and we looked at the pump curves, and the pump curves matched the pump curve of that
Okay.
60 horsepower. So this is 5 horsepower less.
It's
Just
interesting
a
that
little
they're
bit
that much more
greater
efficient.
Efficiency.
So that's
yeah.
interesting.
So the total dynamic head is good as well.
Yeah.
Because that's where it pushes it up out of the pipe and over to the plant, so that's
Yeah.
a good
And
deal.
I had my engineer friend check all of it.
Yeah, I seen where there was some numbers there.
Yeah.
Couldn't hardly read them, but I got it.
That's
Yeah.
great. Save on electric there too then.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Okay,
Really wish we could get two, but sounds like we're.
so I'm just looking for a motion to approve the change on the pump replacement for lift station number 13.
I'll move we approve there, Mr. Mayor.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any other old business,
That's
Director
all I
Kennett? Okay.
Can you give us a quick update on old business regarding the rate study? How's that going to proceed?
Yeah, so we have signed the agreement with Crone and Associates. We just signed that this week, and we already had a data dump ready for them of, they had already made a data request. I didn't want to release that data until we actually signed the agreement. That's all been taken care of, so we signed the agreement, I think it was on Tuesday, and on Wednesday of last week, we did the data dump. So they have everything they need to get started. They're anxious about getting started. We've scheduled a kickoff meeting so that we can all get together and just make sure that, we're off and running in the right direction. One of the things that we've made it clear to them is our job is to give you the data. Your job is to decipher the data and come up with fair and equitable rates throughout all the different rate classes. And we'll monitor that and make sure that that happens. But, you know, we're staying out of it. That's not our job to determine what those rates are. You know, our job is to give them the data. The goal out of this is to make sure we're looking 3 to 5 years forward to make sure that we have enough revenue coming in that we can sustain operation, plus have a little bit of reserve. You know, our goal is not to make money, it's to
Right.
make sure that we break even and have a little bit of reserve to make sure that we have enough cash flow to stay in business.
Did you send them that 4% amendment yet?
Not yet. Not yet. They were up there for that IMPA meeting.
Were they?
They heard it loud and clear as well.
What a shock.
Okay. Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims for utilities.
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg Council meeting for April 3rd, 2023. If everybody could rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Mr. Fetty, once again,
All right, Councilperson Tony Abbott.
Here.
Councilperson Justin Noppert.
Sir.
Councilperson Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman.
here.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
We got City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
We got Mary Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, announcements, board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs, downtown area. Mr. Abbott?
Everything's good.
All but your crosswalks.
They're
It's a
coming.
mess.
They're coming.
They're gonna
Look good.
They're gonna look good.
Good, look good. I was down there Saturday.
They are looking good. Streets, alleys, and, go ahead.
So do we have an anticipated date on finishing on this? I know it's kind of weather permitting. And
Yeah,
but
they're trying to line up all their pours and stuff at the, sort of the same time.
yeah,
And then, they'll be working with asphalt, plants just opened up last week. So because they gotta bring some asphalt in
Yep.
for the, I think, for the boundary
Yep.
areas. And then they'll be working on the pavers, but I don't have the date. I don't
Yeah,
have the date.
so
We've given them dates that they have to be like cleaned up and
Yeah.
like car show, things
Yep.
like that
Yeah, right.
before the, you know, and then, I would anticipate before any of our other major events, it should be.
well, that Tate and Walnut is night and day difference. I mean, just getting that stop sign out. I mean, and then the opposite side, that's going to be a huge win. I mean, and just tightening up that intersection where the kids cross. I mean, it's a little bit tenuous right now with the kids coming around the construction. There's just dozens and dozens of Central Elementary kids that cross that street
Yeah,
into the
right.
community center. So that's done. It's going to be great. In the meantime, just everybody keep their eyes out.
Well, in this spring, there will be some other changes going on up around St. Lawrence School as well. Gonna be probably taking out about 10 parking spots, where their buses load, because right now,
On Elm?
it's a very dangerous spot up there. And, so we've been working with St. Lawrence, and they've asked for our help. We're gonna, you know, obviously, near the curb area and stuff will be, you know, painted either red.
Oh, you're talking on Walnut.
Yes.
Yeah.
On
Yes.
Walnut, okay.
And then,
Kind of like a fire lane, almost?
yeah,
where the
be
buses
almost
can
like a
get in
fire
there?
lane.
Okay.
But it's gonna be, you know, rather large, enough for 2 buses to get in there or whatever.
Is that a full size or the smaller buses?
Well, I think by law, we have to make it
For the
for
full
the full
size?
size. But,
And they cannot unload them in the back, I guess, correct?
no, because I
Because
think they're
it's short.
using that always for like recess and
Yep.
stuff, so
So it would have to be out front.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it's gonna take up a lot of the parking area up there. then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet 8
Yeah.
to 10 parking spots, yeah.
Do we have a
But
sealed?
there's plenty of parking, you know, that's the
Hey.
thing.
Not in front of my townhouse. Come on now.
We're coming your way.
Mark Fetty
All
and
them
them
spots
behind their house.
Do we have seal and stripe slated for like early this spring anywhere else?
What's that?
Do we have a seal and stripe slated for anywhere, like any other?
I think we do. Mario could tell me for sure, but I do.
I just wonder if we should bump up that one right at the entrance to the community center, because it's hard to see those lines, because that's gonna be critical. I mean, Sunday mornings going through there with St. Lawrence, you know, when they're having mass is busy, very busy. So, I mean, if we're taking out 8 or 10 spots, that'll be significant.
It's pretty tough on Saturday too. They're pretty busy over there.
Well, but you guys, we got plenty of parking. The employees are parking in front of St. Lawrence School. It's what they tell me. I don't know that. That's what came from them.
Yeah.
And they've been told that they can park right across the street in our parking down by the
Yeah,
ball field.
there's plenty of parking around here.
Yep,
You
it's
know,
true.
So, I mean, that came from them. I don't know who's parking in front, who's not, but
Well, I mean, if there's a drive lane for where the buses are, that would also potentially be a good spot where you could drop off if there were some elderly or aging population that couldn't walk up the hill from the parking lot, drop them off and just flip
On
around there and park.
school days, yes.
Put
Yeah.
the hearses and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, even on Saturday evening and
Yep.
Sunday mornings when they have mass.
Yep.
so we're working with them to give them what they think they need and what we can do by law, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to bring that up. There would be some other additional changes on Walnut. Streets, alleys, and curbs up on Ludlow Hill.
Oh, good, sir. Thank you.
Finance Department, Brett.
No report, Mayor.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Noppert.
Now they're getting a lot of use. Good.
Yeah.
I would like to add something to that. I got a call about George Street Park. The black fungus is getting all over the equipment. Don't we have that scheduled to be cleaned?
Yeah.
Said that last
That's-
meeting.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I thought, so.
Yeah, we got
wanna make sure.
schedules to clean all of our park equipment. It could be tomorrow, as far as I know, but
Okay.
they've got a list that they're working off of, yeah.
I
Yeah, you
just wanna make
spoke
sure-
on that at the last meeting. I watched it.
I just want to make sure it was scheduled to be done.
Absolutely is. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, along with all of our shelters and things like that, the roofs on the shelters, all of it.
And I met with
Sidewalks.
Brad and Roger down at the dog park too, because you'd be surprised at how many people utilize that dog park, and there's a
It's
little
on-
bit of maintenance that needs to be
It
done
was on the
there.
list too.
Yeah, so,
It's every one of our parks are on that list. Sidewalks, all of it included.
Good deal.
Yeah, I'd like to also say up on the hill there's Saturday, and they had a lot of events going on. It was chilly, but Sunday, it was busy.
Well, they had the Easter egg hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it was? And then it was busy Sunday. I mean, kids everywhere.
Be an Easter egg hunt down here at Todd Creech, I believe, Saturday,
Yes,
Arch
we-
Street gang, yeah.
money
Okay,
in 'em?
anything else on
Money
parks
in those
and,
eggs?
parks and playgrounds? Okay, fire department, Mr. Rolette.
No report, Mayor.
All right. Announcements, I've got a couple here, guys. I got 2 calls today, actually. Ladies Auxiliary at the Legion wants to have their annual poppy sale. It's going to be on May the 20th between 9:30 and 12, and the only intersection will be at 2nd and 4th Street. So just want to make you guys aware of that. And then the Panther St. Lawrence 5K that they have every year is going to be on August 12th up at the trail, starting at 8 a.m.
I don't think that one goes out on the road at all, it's just out
No,
the
it-
trail.
We don't allow any of them to go on the road anymore, except the Lauren Hill. Yeah. Yeah. We got a riverfront development meeting with engineers coming in town. We're trying to get all their schedules meshed. Will be next Thursday, the 13th, at 4, and then the Liberty Theater is going to be a combination meeting between City Council and redevelopment. Will be on the 20th, which is the following Thursday at 3 o'clock, and that's with all those all the engineers working, the representatives of the companies working on the Liberty Theater. I think Guinevere may have already sent stuff out to you guys on those dates. If she hasn't, she will be. And then I wanted to bring up one thing that Saturday morning, I mean, we all got up and heard different areas being affected by the tornadoes. I had multiple texts, probably 20 texts on Saturday morning when I woke up. Town of Sullivan, Indiana, which is, I don't know, about 35 miles, I think, east of Indianapolis. And then the town of Whiteland, which is about 20 miles southwest, I believe, of Indianapolis. Both were hit pretty hard with tornadoes on Friday night about 1 o'clock in the morning. And a friend of mine is the mayor in Sullivan that I've gotten to know over the last few years. He reached out. I reached out to him early on Saturday morning. He reached back, and I contacted Billy and Eric, and we offered to send a couple linemen if needed and some trucks, but it looks like they're going to be okay. I don't know if you've gotten any call from mutual aid or anything.
We haven't received a call.
He sent me a video before he sent it out on the Facebook, and two neighborhoods just completely just obliterated, just gone, nothing left. And they actually lost 3 people, and they were in a recovery mode because there was quite a few others missing. So it's both of those are cities about our size. So they'll be having a lot of growing pains here in the next few years, actually. So anyway, well, obviously we're eager to help if we need to and things like that. I don't have any other announcements. You guys got anything else that needed to be brought forward?
I did notice that the Civil City's got some of the speed bumps back out,
Mm-hmm.
some of the temporary ones.
Yeah, for the spring. Yeah. Yeah. And I think we need to look at the placement of the one up on Randy, you said?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but they're going out, if they're not out. And parklets are going out where we can get them out, and the bikes went out as well for bike share program.
Spring's in the air.
Spring is in the air.
So is the pollen and everything
Yeah.
else.
Okay, new business, you'll see your donation committee recommendations. I believe there's 2 of them. Any questions regarding that, guys?
Did you get the minutes, Mayor?
Oh, maybe I didn't do the minutes. How about if I get an approval to,
Not saying you didn't.
hey, no, I probably didn't. How about if I get a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
I'll move, Your Honor.
Second, please.
Actually, I'm not going to move. I wasn't here.
I will.
I rescind that move.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks,
All
Mark.
right, thanks.
New business donation committee recommendations. Any questions about either one of those? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next thing I'd like to bring up is resolution number
So this would be a city or utility?
County.
Okay, 6.
6.
Yeah.
This is resolution number 6-2023. This was the one that was pushed on to council with a favorable from the USB. Any questions before we vote? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution number 6-2023.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I have no other new business nor any old business for this meeting. Comments from the audience?
I do have a couple of questions.
Yes, ma'am.
That surprises me.
Surprise,
No.
surprise. Talking about the St. Lawrence parking. In order to save those parking spots, would it be possible to just put up no parking certain hours?
We,
Like permanent signs? I know they've tried putting up just some temporary, I've seen those.
doesn't work. And this was a request from them.
Oh, okay.
And because we offered to do that right now. you know, and they're using like some A-frames up there.
Yeah,
and things
I've
like
seen
that.
those.
And people are still parking there, and there's nothing that, you know, you can't tow them, because there's nothing to say they can't park there, you know.
But if you had regular permanent signs, the police could go up there and ticket them. You know, like they do in Cincinnati. If it says no
Yeah.
parking 6 to 8, if you're parked there, you're getting a ticket.
We don't normally make a habit of doing that,
Yeah.
but we could. But this was the fix that they came up
They could,
with,
okay,
and we told them, we warned them, you know, you're probably gonna get some pushback
Yeah.
from your parishioners.
yeah.
You know, 8 to 10 spots is a lot of spots, but they were thinking that they're gonna get more pushback from employees
Yeah,
than
okay.
parishioners. So, I'll let them deal with that one.
And then while they're cleaning all the stuff in the parks, you know, for that black fungus, my driveway's got a whole bunch too.
Right, we'll be right on it.
Hey, I hear you.
Who's your councilman?
Yeah.
And why is that? Years ago, I never got that black stuff on.
That's because they're making more and more of it, but they have come up with a solution to the black fungus now. The barrels that it's in, the industry loses about 50% of their whiskey that's in that barrel from the evaporation through it. But now they've come up with some kind of coating that they can put on the barrel that allows the barrel to breathe, but it doesn't allow the alcohol to go out. So
That's why the
like
whiskey
gonna
tasted
work.
different these days.
So should my driveway not be getting as dirty?
In the coming years, when they get this perfected, this new treatment of the barrels.
Right, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how that works, but doesn't, don't they have some kind of program to where they come and spray your house or spray that stuff off?
No.
They don't have
They
that?
offered that.
That was a one-time program about 8
That
years
what it
ago,
was?
because I followed up
remember
with
that.
I
that.
think everybody had to sign something that said you
Yes.
cannot come back and,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, I remember that.
They
And it's-
said we weren't in the area, but our driveway's black.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nasty.
you can look at some of your shingled roofs up there on the hill.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
See it.
I recently followed up with that, and there is nothing in the near future that looks like it's going to be done. 'Cause we're having some pretty significant issues on US 50 with some of the businesses that are covered with that, and so.
Look at the stoplights.
We'll tell you this, I was talking to Mr. Gailey, they got a, part of their construction over there, they've got a company that's got a solution, and he showed me like what part of the roof looked like, and then part of the roof looked like with it cleaned, and my goodness,
Oh,
Really?
Big difference.
night and day.
Yeah, that white roof's not so white.
No,
Oh,
it-
yeah.
Nope.
but what you
And I
were
asked
saying-
them if they could do if they were gonna do the gym roof, but they said that the type of material the gym roof is, they don't know if they wanna
Yeah,
risk it.
that's TPO.
But I guess some of the metal roofs, they were able to, he showed me a picture of before and after. And I told him, I said, you know, we'll get Brad to take a look at, because we got all these metal roofs in our parks and things.
Well, if you go down there, and they got like 7 black tanks, and there's one that's just crystal clean white.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it has been white for a while, so I
How
don't
does
know.
that happen?
I don't know either. That's, I thought if they have.
How
some
does that happen, right? I don't get it either. I hear you.
But a
And
good example of how dirty it is around here, I always look at the stoplights at US 50
Oh.
and Front Street. They're actually looking black now.
they do
There's
look,
no yellow no more to them.
you can't see any
It's
of it.
terrible. And
Well-
thinking we're breathing that as well, and
But government says it doesn't harm you.
So that's not toxic.
I wouldn't even go there. Just, yeah,
Been tested.
Well,
not touching that one.
yeah.
Well, we're so healthy.
I get it at my house as well.
Natural penicillin that we get to breathe in every day.
Good. Live forever.
Yes, Miss Lee?
I've got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the city putting up these things, bags for people to pick up their dogs? I see some streets have got them on there.
For what, Lee?
You know, they're not,
Oh, for
Dog doo-doo
dog
bags.
species and
Yeah.
feces and stuff?
I saw one, I think, across the Homes Furniture.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
Yes.
one down the other street. Is the city doing that, or?
yeah, we do that once in a
Is it
while.
possible to get one in our alley?
In
By
your
the library.
alley?
By the library.
Alley?
It's a pretty heavy area where people take their animals.
You know, a lot of people walk their animals, dogs down there.
We can see what we
I
can
have
do.
to say, I see a lot of them down there since this term.
Lenny will come down there and pick it up every day.
I'll bring,
After my dog.
I'll bring diapers for the dogs.
Lenny said, you heard him. You heard him?
Well, just for some discussion too, because you know there's still cats that are going around, and so we need to kind of follow up with a kind of.
Oh, we've,
I think you guys have done a heck of a job.
Yeah, it's
My
been,
neighborhood,
Yeah.
Yes.
a really
Cats
successful
left.
program,
Yeah,
Yeah.
very successful
That worked
program.
out pretty good,
Yeah.
I will admit.
I heard
agree.
a little rumor about the cats.
What'd you hear?
They was doing very well catching them, but somebody went back behind them and turned the cats loose.
That was just up on your street.
I mean, who was surprised?
You have a councilman that doesn't
That's what we
take care
told
of
them,
it.
to capture them all and drop them off
Hey,
at Lenny's
at
house.
nighttime, you used to see a bunch of them. I heard that, and I heard after you've caught them, that you can't hardly catch them again.
Oh,
So they won't go
Smart.
back in that trap.
No need to catch them again if they.
Before we adjourn, Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to welcome Mr. Matthew from Scout Troop 604. Just we're glad to have you here. He's doing a report for his troop.
Hey,
And
hey.
so
Yes,
exciting to have you here with us, Matthew.
welcome.
Thanks for coming.
yes.
Yes.
Really appreciate you.
And this is your city government.
That's right, exciting.
Future councilman.
Yeah, hopefully.
Dog poop, what else we got?
He's a seventh grader. He's a seventh grader at Greendale Middle School.
He's right
That's
now,
awesome.
right now, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up. Do not want to be a city council.
He does not want to be a mayor or city councilman.
I picked up a lot of that stuff in my day.
Any other comments, guys and gals? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Well, second.
all in favor?
Opposed? On that motion to adjourn, aren't they?
We
Motion
paid the
carries.
bills.
I was waiting on that.
POW.
Thanks, everybody.